Hey y'all, it's your boy Mark back again. Um, I guess this I would call this a reading, but not necessarily. I guess a channel message more than anything. Um, but yeah, no cards or anything today, so I'm gonna just go and I'm gonna keep it quick. So this is for you if I'm hearing like if you're an anxious achiever, an anxious high achiever. Someone who's someone who's doing the most always, but never doing enough. If you ask them, if that's you, then this is definitely for you. But I'm getting questions to ask you, and I'm getting messages to share with you. Um, I guess the first question is, what have you been up to? Like, what have you been accomplishing? And if you have something like a little pillow or something that you can hold and kind of hold tight and cuddle and whatever, grab it as you listen to this. And yeah, let's relax for a second, be present. Let's just talk. But yeah, I'm being called to ask you, what have you been up to? What have you been doing? Um, and don't say nothing much because that's not even the type of person you are. I know you've been doing the most. So I want you to really sit back and think about what you've been doing. If you need to, go ahead and stop this and think about it, reflect on what this week and this month, this year has been so far. Okay, now I'm being called to ask you why are you giving yourself such a hard time? Why are you treating yourself as if you're not doing amazing things when literally everything you do is amazing? And I'm also being called to ask you if all right, for a second, imagine you were not you, but you were your best friend, and you're observing all the things that you do. You're being told about all the things that you do, like you're telling them, "Oh man, I did this today. I did this last week, or I've been working on this." How would you respond to those things that they're telling you? If they were saying exactly the things you do, nothing more, nothing less, how would you respond to them? And if you, I'm trying. Ooh, I got this hair stand. What the heck is that about? Hmm, fuck perfection. But so I get a feeling that you would tell them that they're doing amazing things, and that, yeah, they can always do more, but what they're doing is amazing and worth celebrating, and that they're doing exactly what they need to do, and that they should rest and they should celebrate themselves, all these amazing things. But so why don't you tell yourself the same things? And beyond that, why don't you allow yourself to do the same things? Why don't you rest when you feel called to rest? Why don't you celebrate every win, small, big, and medium, and everything in between? You're such a loving person and you're such a wise person and such a universal friend. It's like, and it's so easy to be that for everybody else, but why aren't you like that for yourself? Why do you give yourself such a hard time? You're the most deserving person of all those things. So it's like, allow yourself to be present. And I'm being called to tell you, invite yourself to be that best friend for yourself more than anything. For a little while, don't even look at yourself as yourself. Judge everything you do as a third party, and not as a third party hater, not as your parent, not as someone who doesn't understand, but as your best friend, someone who knows exactly who you are, someone who knows exactly why you do what you do, who sees the battles that you don't tell everybody about, and all that, but who's also able to be objective enough to see you clearly, without all the conditioning, without the perfection, without um just all the stuff that you put on yourself simply because it's yourself. And you're too close to the sun that you can't truly see the light and the beauty and the grandness of it all. So it's like, treat yourself like that for a while and see what that feels like. And I guarantee you'll find yourself being nicer to yourself. Find yourself being more gracious and forgiving to yourself. And yeah, there's people outside, and forgot to close the window before I started this. So if you hear talking or loud noises, I apologize for that. Definitely don't want to overstimulate anybody. And if this mic sounds crazy, I haven't used this one yet, but I know sometimes they like to sound like they're getting beat up. So if that sounds crazy, I'm also sorry. But if not, hey, it's all good. But yeah, and I'm also hearing stop apologizing so much. I don't know if that was for me or for y'all, but it could be both. You don't have to apologize for everything. You're an intentional person and you're very, very considerate. And you're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to make mistakes and all that. You just acknowledge. You can acknowledge without putting yourself down or without, you know, any of those things that come with just overly being overly apologetic for simply existing. But yeah, that being said, man, come on. treat yourself a little softer, a little gentler, especially right now, because you're doing amazing things. Like that, I can feel so, so clear and loud. And it was very, very big and on my heart to come share this message today, um, to let you know that you're doing a great job. And if you don't see it, it's because you're too close to the sun, you know? You're just being blinded by it without understanding the true beauty and golden nature and divine nature of it all. You know, if you're too close to the sun, how can you appreciate it? You know, we're able to enjoy the sun because it's really, really far away. We can see it sometimes. Sometimes it goes away, and you know, all that contrast and the distance between us and it allow us to appreciate it. Because if we were too close to it, we'd be burnt up. We'd probably hate it. We'd probably be afraid of it and all that. And it's like it's the same thing with yourself. If you're too zoomed in on your own life and all your own things that you have going on, it's going to be hard to see yourself in your true glory and in your true masterpiece nature, you know? So, yeah, I'm definitely feeling called to zoom out a bit, you know? And if you have to, put yourself in the shoes of your own best friend, be your own best friend. That, for me, that was a big game changer. And just the way started feeling, like, I feel like it was before I started acting as my own best friend a couple years ago. I was just really hard on myself. Perfectionism was taking me through the ringer. Um, and don't be afraid to burn those bridges. Shout out to the Drake fans out there. That definitely came through loud and clear when I said running me through the ringer. But yeah, I lost my whole train of thought. But I'll trust that that's the energy, you know. So yeah, don't be afraid to go in new directions. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to lose the plot sometimes, you know. And I feel like when we're trying to be so calculated and control the journey so much, we end up losing the plot. We end up losing ourselves, and it starts to feel like, what are we doing? And it's like, what's going on? It's like you're being performative. You know, you're trying to control it all. When life is an experience, every day is an experience, and that's your job to just experience it. You know, it's not necessarily your job to force everything to happen and to control every single thing. You know, like yes, have your intentions. Yes, be conscious of the decisions you're making, but from there allow things to unfold. You know, I'm also being called to tell you to make less decisions and not like, oh, just do whatever, but more so wherever you can let go of that control and the thinking, do it, because all that takes energy. You know, all the time you're sitting there contemplating this thing or that thing or weighing the pros and cons of this versus that. Understand you're experiencing it, you know, as you're trying to decide what's better. You know, you're playing out outcomes, worst case scenarios, best case scenarios, and all that. You're experiencing it truly, and it's like energetically that's no different than you actually going through it. So by the time you actually do the thing, you've already done it like 100 times, depending on how long you were thinking. And you're going to be drained, and a lot of times you're not even going to be able to do the thing because you spent all the energy that was given to you to do the thing thinking about it and second guessing and wondering if you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And it's like, act. And you might end up not doing anything if you think too long and you end up with no energy, or you know, analysis paralysis might be significant, and it's definitely a thing. So it's like, the more you can kind of take that burden off yourself to choose right or wrong and stop seeing things as right or wrong decisions to be made, and understand that all decisions are leading you to where you're going, as long as you're being intentional and you understand where you're going, you'll be better off and you'll be able to get more done in that way. Because it takes a lot of energy to sit there and try to get every decision right. And it's like, the truth is, hey man, you'll make that decision, it'll lead to an outcome, and it'll adjust your decision making moving forward. You'll make a different decision next time if it was an outcome you weren't fond of. You'll make a different decision because naturally you'll just be like, I'm gonna go in this direction naturally, without having to force it, without having to consciously decide like, oh, actually, I think I should do, you know, and just naturally you'll be like, okay, yeah, no, this was the better route. And you know, even after things, you can reframe and, okay, if this happens again, what would I rather do next time? And you can change the past in that way, because now when it comes up in the future, you get another opportunity. You'll remember, okay, like let me do this because I remember decided if this were to happen again, I would do this next time. And you can live like that, but let it go from there, because hindsight will always, you know, and you'll never, there'll always be the road you didn't take. And if you always look at the road you didn't take as a better road when things don't work out in your favor, or you feel like things didn't go how you want them to go, if in that moment you're always gonna be like, damn, I should have did the other thing, life is gonna be a long trial of fire, honestly, because the grass will always appear greener if you allow it to be, if you even care about the greenness of it, you know. Because at the end of the day, you're winning as long as you get to continue on, you know. Tomorrow's going to be better because of what today was, whether it was good or bad. And it's like, as long as you allow yourself to continue to make progress and to move, you'll be okay. And being your own best friend is a great step in that direction, because you'll be more gracious with yourself, and you understand that there's only wins and lessons. There are no losses, especially if it's not something as big as, you ended up in prison for the rest of your life, or you lost your life, or any of that stuff. You get to continue on. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger is very, very true and very, very real. So it's like, trust that and allow yourself to move in these directions as you need to. And I'm really grateful for this message, man. Like, I got a few seconds and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go deliver this right now. And even as I was setting up, like, I was getting the downloads for what the message even was, because at first it was just an energetic spark. And I'm being called to tell you that's enough sometimes, most of the time, all the time, It's like, once you feel move in that direction, like if you feel called to journal, if you don't know what you're gonna write about, get in there, it'll present itself. All you need to do is take that first step. All you need to do is see that first step. Sometimes it's so dark that all you can see is one step ahead. And all you have to do is take it. Because when you take that one step, guess what? You'll be able to see the next step, right? And you'll take that one. You'll be able to take the next step, and it'll keep going. And at some point, you might look up and there'll be a illuminated path, and now you can see 20 steps. But it's like you wouldn't even know that that was over there if you didn't take the first one. And that's all you're being called to do a lot of the times. So, yeah, I was gonna say I don't want this to be too long, but it's not even about what I want. It's about the flow of the energy and following it and allowing it to take me and you to all the places that it wants to take you, and that is for you to experience. But this does feel conclusive, and I love you. I love you a lot, honestly. And if you did what I asked you to do and what you were called to do and got the pillow, give it a nice little hug, and hug it like it's you. This is you treating yourself as your own best friend. And especially if your love language is physical touch, which for some I'm getting that it is, understand that you can give that to yourself. You can rub places, you can do all the things that you want other people to do for you, the ways you like to receive love from others, you can give to yourself. You can cuddle a pillow and rub your arm a little bit, rub your back, kind of, especially if you have long hair. Like, I love the way my hair kind of caresses me sometimes, and it's like, it feels very nice. And just even exploring that has been worked wonders for me as well too. Like, I feel like a cat sometimes. Like, I'll rub myself and I'll start to feel tingly and start to feel like, when cats rub and then they start purring and then the nice vibrations, like, I literally feel like that. It's like I'm realizing that I can give myself all the things I need, honestly. And that's not to, push the world away and now to go into seclusion, into a hermit mode. But it's more so like, nothing you need has to come from outside you. It doesn't. You might want it to, you might want someone else to rub you. You might want someone else to give you hugs and stuff, but you don't have, it doesn't have to. And more times than not, if you're able to give yourself a lot of these things, that's what allows them to come from the outside. If you can give it to yourself first, the outside, your outer reality will match it. But yeah, be gentle with yourself. You're doing an amazing job. And I promise you, you're doing way better than you even know at any given time. If you're able to zoom out enough and see the big blueprint of your life and see where you are, and it was like, you are here, and you could see how everything worked out, you'd realize that you're amazing and you're exactly where you need to be. And you'd slow down, you'd be more present, you'd take some of the pressure off yourself, you'd just be a lot more. And it's like, you don't have to wait until it unfolds to see that. You can meet it halfway. You can have that hindsight, that 2020 hindsight right now. And it's available to you. This is the first indicator of that truth. It's like, you're not seeing this by chance. We didn't cross paths by chance. Think about how everything in your life, especially if this is your first time seeing me, think about how many things in your life had to go exactly how they did, and how many things in my life had to go exactly how they did, how many things in my parents' life had to go exactly how they did, my grandparents, all the way up to the beginning of creation. How many choices and decisions were made, how many forks in the road there were, how many lefts did people take over rights, that all led in my life, in your life, in my descendants, your descendants, and in just the history of the world, that led to exactly how they did for us to meet in this one moment in the year 2026, or whatever year it is. It's greetings from the past. This is the future. All time. It's all right now. That's all that's real anyway. And it's like, imagine how many of those things had to go exactly how they did for us to end up here right now. Like, something as simple as, like, I could have woke up an hour later than I did and we'd be missing each other. 10 minutes later than I did, we'd be missing each other. Or I would have had a different unfolding of my day, and then I wouldn't have had the energy to make this video or something. And now this video doesn't exist. But it's like, everything happened exactly how it did today and our entire life and in the history of the world, for us both to be right here in this moment, sharing in this energy right now. So it's like, there is no coincidence. It's like you're here for a reason, and you are exactly who you need to be. And you're receiving this message because of who you are, and because how you show up in the world and how you treat others, and because you're exactly who you need to be and that you're perfect. So please treat yourself as that, and love your past and love your journey, because it all roads led here. And if you're somebody who you feel like is worthy of love, then your past and your roads here have to be treated as worthy of love too. And as you free up the energy that you're using to shun parts of yourself, shun your history, and to condemn your history, as you free up that energy and allow it to come to the present, realize that it all served its purpose and it's all just you, then you'll be able to bring in more for yourself. Your manifestations will come in just that much faster. And it just turned 222. It's like that's the reality. What you're being offered right now is divine union with self, through understanding that you are exactly who you need to be, and that nothing is wrong, and that everything is led to this point, to exactly where you are right now. So I love you, and happy journeying, happy life, happy living. Enjoy the journey, enjoy the process. Um, and just enjoy, be present, go celebrate. And celebrate doesn't mean you have to go to a party, or you got to go take shots, or you got to go roll up. And hey, if you like to do those things, do it. But I know when I tell people, oh, make sure you celebrate yourself, they instantly go to going out and stuff like this. Like, nah, like, watch your favorite movie. Like, watch that movie that you love that you haven't had time or giving yourself the time to watch in a long time. Call that person you haven't talked to in a long time that always feels like home. Like, do that thing that you feel like you never have time to do, but it's simply you just don't allow yourself to do it. Go do that. That's celebration enough. Give yourself a hug, a pat in the back, do a little dance in the mirror that go do anything. And that's celebration enough. And in that, you'll get enough momentum going, and you'll realize that you're amazing and you're perfect. And I promise that you are. So yeah, how can you introduce a little more fun and presence and love for yourself in your life today, right now, honestly? Like, I was gonna say when you turn this off, but hey, well, you ain't even gotta turn on. You can start right now as I'm still talking. It's like, you're perfect, you're amazing, and I'm grateful for you. So I hope you're grateful for yourself and everything that made you exactly who you are. Even the worst things led you here. So give those parts of you love, and give those versions of you who experienced those things love, because they need it. And you remember, if you look back, you remember how much you needed it, and you're able to give that to yourself now. And understand those past versions still live on through you. So spend some time with them. Let them know that you're here, and that it all worked out, and that all roads led to this moment, and that even, hey, you didn't think it'd get better. You thought this was the bottom and this was the end of it for us, the end of the road. But I'm here to tell you that it worked out, and we're great right now, and things are only getting better. Go tell yourself that, and see how it feels, and realize it's the truth, and that you have access to every version of you that ever existed as you need it. So I know I keep saying I'm done, but I love y'all so much. This has been Mark. This was a great message, and I'm really grateful to have been able to navigate the energy and deliver it. So I'll see you around, and I'm proud of you, and I love you. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, whatever feels right. Um, yeah, I love what I do so much, and I love being able to be a mirror, a divine mirror to those who need it. Um, to reflect. It's not always easy to see yourself clearly. So mirrors help a lot. And I'm very grateful that I get to be a vessel of divine love and wisdom and energy, and that I get to be a super divine mirror and just really just tell you the truth. Like, I'm not blowing smoke up your butt. I'm not giving you a bunch of cupcakey things. I'm just telling you the truth. As anyone with eyes and a heart that's truly open can see it. And yeah, embrace those who do see it, because you are all those things. And if there's someone who makes you feel like you're not, they're typically not. Typically, they're simply not the person for you. They're just not in alignment. So yeah, get them out of there. Burn that bridge. But I love you so much, and I'll see you around. Um, be easy and keep shining. It's your world, so you better act like it. And I love you. So I'll see you later, dog. Peace.